everyone. Welcome back to the Everyday Athlete. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge it's been a little while. I'm in the, like I think I've discussed before, I'm in the last year of my master's degree, right at the last stages now, and I think in the middle of the year, trying to start a YouTube channel in amongst all of that was pretty ambitious, and to say I've lacked spare time on my hands is an understatement. I think when I did start the channel, I probably had a little bit of time, but it really ramped up from there, and I've just been really time poor. So I wanted to bring you guys a lot more than what I have over the past few months. Unfortunately, it just hasn't been in the priorities. So anyway, I thought today I'd strike while the iron was hot and bring up a topic that's pretty quite on the forefront of a lot of people's minds, for those of you who've been in amongst following the fitness industry, and talk about the Liver King. Now, this is a topic that I had on the list of things I wanted to talk about in videos in regarding performance enhancing drugs, and talking about more specifically people who put forth this narrative that they are natural when they're clearly not. And I think everyone knew that the Liver King wasn't natural, but the fact that he so vehemently denied the fact that he was taking steroids sort of, I guess, got to a few people. Certainly there are some influencers out there that called him out quite a few times, and then as we've seen, Derek from More Plates More Dates really outed him, which he did a really thorough job of going through the whole thing in that video that exposed all of it. Sorry if I'm sniffly throughout this video. I probably should have prefaced this before starting, but yeah, I'm not well. I've got a virus. It's been knocking me around pretty good for a few days, and yeah, still not really feeling any better. So I'm really sorry for that, but I hope you enjoy the video. But I think for me today, mostly I wanted to just touch on, I guess, being able to... This channel is about having a positive relationship with health and fitness. And I think people like the Liver King and Mike O'Hearn, or Mike O'Tren, whatever you want to call him, they promote health and fitness to suit their narrative, and really to draw people into buying their products. So I don't necessarily believe that people like that are really concerned about your health and fitness journey. They're more concerned about their back pocket, and I think that's really the main takeaway from all of this. Now that the Liver King has been outed, I think it's just a matter of time until Mike O'Hearn is outed by someone. You know, obviously it took from someone within the Liver King's team to leak out what he was doing, and I just think that's a matter of time until it happens to a guy like Mike O'Hearn. So I think people like that, they can really be damaging, because they have these physiques that are just 100% unattainable without the use of PEDs. And not only that, majority of people, even if they did take PEDs, trained as hard as they did, ate just like they did, conducted their lives just as they did, the majority of people still wouldn't be able to achieve those kind of physiques. And I think especially for the younger people growing up, you know, now that are like, you know, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, that are getting into the gym, especially men, young men, you see these people and you just want to be like them. And I think when I was growing up, and you were watching people on YouTube, there wasn't that transparency with who was taking PEDs and who wasn't. It just wasn't spoken about. And then it's gotten to a point now, you get, you know, people like I said, Derek More Plates More Dates, Greg Doucette, they are quite open with the fact that they have or do take PEDs or on TRT, and they're very open with the amounts that they take. But then you get people like Liver King and Mike Trent that just deny that they are taking these things, and they're not the only ones. There are others out there, and even people who don't say that they're taking it, and they don't deny that they're taking it, but they have these ridiculous physiques. I just think it promotes body dysmorphia for young men, and if you don't have the educational background to understand the physiological effects of these taking these drugs, or if you just don't understand, you're working out as hard as you can, you're eating as well as you can, and you're just still not seeing the results that these people are showing, you might really get down on yourself. And I think it's really important that we in the general community, and then broader in the fitness community, really start bringing health back into health and fitness. I think that it's kind of getting lost, and a lot of people aren't doing the right things with their platforms. So I think it's really important, especially for the younger demographic. I think you guys have access to a lot more educational material regarding these things. It's not so hush-hush anymore. I don't have any experience in taking PEDs. The most that I've taken is testosterone and ectosterone, which you can buy over the shelf. They definitely work for me. Did they work as well as what PEDs would have worked? I'm sure they didn't. But even that, I was a bit worried to continue on doing that, because there's not enough research to show what the side effects of prolonged use of things like that can have. Being in the master's degree that I'm currently in, which is a Master of Dietetics, a lot of my knowledge is around what we put into our body as far as food, how that affects our health. And so a lot of research that I've taken upon myself, I've noticed that there's a lot of promotion of really high protein intakes to promote muscle growth, which that is 100% the case. You need to meet certain protein targets when you are working out to continue to have muscle growth, to promote muscle protein synthesis. But I guess around all of that too is there is a limit to what your body can take. Most concerning about all of that is prolonged excess stress on your kidneys can be really detrimental to your health long term. If you put your kidneys under excess stress for prolonged periods of time, and you're not looking after them, that's a slow and very inconvenient path to an early death. So I guess that's probably another thing, along with the PED use, is probably the over compensation of protein intake that you get within this fitness industry. So I guess today I just really wanted to touch on, being aware of certain things like fitness influencers who are taking performance-enhancing drugs. Not only are they taking performance-enhancing drugs, their platforms allow them to live a lifestyle where everything is pointed and geared towards their fitness goals. 99.99% of people don't have that luxury. We're working full-time jobs, we're students, we've got families, some people got multiple jobs, and then we're just trying to fit fitness in with that. We're trying to fit fitness in our lifestyles when modern day life really doesn't allow for that. You spend so much time at work if you're working a 9 to 5. Sometimes you're a tradie and you're working, very early in the morning, before 9 o'clock. You start, 6-7 o'clock in the morning, and then you're doing overtime late in the day. Where do you find time to prepare food, to get a proper night's sleep, to spend time with your loved ones, to do any of those other things that are really important and essential to good mental health? And then fit, your fitness goals in amongst that. It gets really hard. So I think being realistic about what your life currently is, what your own priorities are, and where fitness comes into that. And then remembering that health is central to your fitness. You need to be fueling yourself with good food. You need to be fueling yourself with the right amount of nutrients, not overcompensating, not undercompensating. You need to really look after your mental health. I think that's something that can often be put on the back burner. I can say for certain there are things that have happened for me within the last 12 months where I've thought maybe I don't have the time to prioritize these really big things that have happened in my life and to mentally process them and go through that, because I've had all these other things happening. And on top of that, I've really tried to maintain my fitness goals, and knowing that getting to the gym or going for a walk or going for a run, those things are also central to maintaining good mental health for myself. But sometimes they're not the only answer. So really know what you're consuming, really know the dangers of what fitness influencers can be putting out there. Be aware of what your situation is. Don't compare yourself to these influencers. Really understand what your priorities are, where you're at mentally, and what you can realistically achieve. Anything is better than nothing. And if sometimes you can't do nothing, or anything, that's fine. That's fine. As long as you have the want to get back into it when you are able to. And yeah, I think that's basically what I wanted to get off my chest today. Something like this, what's happened with the Liver King, is really something that's annoyed me for a long time about these fitness influencers that just flippantly promote their rubbish lifestyles, like the Liver King and his raw meat and all of that. There's so many things that can go wrong depending on what your physiological framework is. It's just so many things that can go wrong with that. On top of that, he's a liar. He's full of shit. And you just got to be really wary of people like that. So I hope this people can sort of understand what I was trying to put forward today. If you have any comments or feedback, feel free to let me know. And hopefully within the near future, I'll be able to post a bit more. But I thought today, I've got a little bit of time, and and this was something that was really, I thought I needed to strike while the iron was hot, like I said earlier. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for future videos, and hopefully I'll be coming back to you guys soon. So thank you.